Immigration officers given yet another date to relocate from their Wharf Road sick building. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Wednesday, April the 18th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Immigration officers currently housed in their condemned Wharf Road headquarters building now seem set to finally move into new facilities in the Barbados Tourism Investment Inc. complex on Princess Alice Highway at month end. The latest relocation date was revealed yesterday by General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Rosalind Smith. Back in November 2016, it was announced that June 2017 will be the relocation date. However, delays in renovation work sparked protest action, including a two-day work stoppage on January 19th and 20th this year. Then last month, Smith gave April 3rd as the revised date, and yesterday, month end, being her latest yet.
The issue is the handing over of the keys, and that should be done hopefully between now and, I would say at least by month end, that the keys should be handed over. So again, we don't want to create an area where you move workers into a building that has to be clean. But what has happened, the workmen were doing some little, as they say, little fine work, which meant that the dust had gone into the ducts. So you have to clean that again. So I think to be safe than sorry. So I don't want to push the movement in there and then you hear that person's coming down with issues. So you don't want to move from one environment to the next to have that done. So we're saying in the next couple of weeks, when we are given the white flag, then the workers will move into the building.
Barbadian and other Caribbean nationals who've been living in Britain for over 50 years no longer have to worry about being deported under new tough immigration laws. Yesterday, Prime Minister Theresa May apologized for the anxiety caused to thousands of Caribbean nationals who up to yesterday were facing possible deportation despite having lived and worked in the United Kingdom for more than 5 decades. The controversy arose on account of new rules introduced by the Conservative government in 2012 designed to make sure that only those with the right to remain in the UK could access the British welfare system and the National Health Service or to rent a home. However, in response to the recent development, a spokeswoman for a group of Barbadian migrants who have returned home from the United Kingdom over the past 2 decades, yesterday suggested that the threat should never have been posed by the May administration, given the contribution made by these same targeted individuals to the UK's advancement. Rumors of the pending death of embattled Minister of the Environment, Dr. Dennis Law, have been greatly exaggerated. In a statement issued by his attorney, Michael Yearwood QC, yesterday, Law sought to make it clear that not only was he no longer in hospital, but that contrary to an earlier report by Barbados Today, his health condition was not at all serious. In fact, Law said his recent hospitalization was on account of a knee injury for which he had to undergo surgery earlier this month. His lawyer said he was at home recuperating and expects to be back in full fitness within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. A 55-year-old man in Trinidad has appeared in court charged with having sexual intercourse with a 7-year-old girl. Ted Dookie, who was denied bail, is also facing 2 counts of sexual touching of the child.
Police say the charges stem from incidents which allegedly happened between December last year and February. The victim is now in the custody of the Children's Authority. Police say in 2011, Dookie was charged with having sexual intercourse with a girl under 14 years old. That matter is still pending before the court.
On the international scene, Starbucks has announced it is to close thousands of cafes in the United States for an afternoon in May to train staff on preventing racial discrimination on its premises. The move comes amidst tensions following the arrest of 2 black men at one of its cafes in Philadelphia last week. Protesters have called for a boycott of the company amid accusations that the chain was practicing racial profiling. And finally, Barbara Bush, former U.S. First Lady and literacy campaigner, has died at the age of 92. A statement from the office of her husband, former President George W. Bush, described her as a relentless proponent of family literacy. We pick up the story in this BBC report.
Barbara Bush was a commanding matriarch, only the second woman in American history to be both the wife of a president and the mother of one. She was married to the 41st occupant of the White House and raised the 43rd. Born Barbara Pierce, she met George Bush at a school dance and they married in 1945 after his service as a Navy pilot in World War II. Barbara was credited with helping his political career by keeping a card file of everyone he ever met. It all paid off when George Bush was elected first vice president to Ronald Reagan and then president.
The office of President of the United States.
Barbara wore her trademark pearls at his inauguration, confiding they hid the wrinkles in her neck. It was this honesty which helped endear her to the American public. As First Lady, she focused on promoting literacy, helping the most disadvantaged Americans.
If more people could read, write, and comprehend, we would be that much closer to solving so many of the problems that plague our nation.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.